Hi there. We're going to go over the syllabus for OS/CIS 133, Section 5002. This is the online version of spreadsheets and Excel for the spring 2013. This class is 3 hours long, which means that normally we would be in the classroom for 3 hours, but you always want to make sure that you not only leave the time for 3 hours for working through the coursework, but then you leave yourself about, I would say, 3 to 6 hours for homework each week. So you should leave yourself about 9 hours to do this class a week. The meeting time is online. Our semester dates are from January 15th or January 14th through the 9th. What we're going to be doing here is a course in concepts and fundamental operation of spreadsheets. We're going to do how you're going to put in data, formulas, functions, linking, so on and so forth. It's co-listed, so that means that either if you're taking OS 133 or CIS 133, it's the same class. There's no prerequisite. All your homework is due on, your final exam is due online by Monday, May 6th by midnight. So just make sure that you're aware of that. Those dates. If you looked at the introduction, you already know all the information about me and when the online office hours are and so on and so forth. The text, you need the Microsoft Office Excel 2010 A Lesson Approach book. If you purchased that online, then you did not get the SimNet card. So you're going to want to make sure that you have a SimNet card that goes with it. You can either pick it up at the bookstore separately. If you've taken a class, online class before, you don't have to get a separate SimNet card. If you've already had one, you can just log in and log into my class, so you do not need another SimNet card. But you'll need to get a SimNet card if you have never taken any of the office classes with myself or another instructor. Microsoft Excel 2010 book comes with a 90-day trial for Office. So if you have already expired that, or if you didn't get your book online, you're going to want to make sure that you pick up Office 2010. In this course, we're going to be able to navigate, edit, save, print data, format data, use formulas and functions, audit and validate. We're going to use pivot charts and pivot tables, and importing and exporting. So one of the things we want to make sure is that you have a reliable access to a computer with an internet connection. Have a backup plan should your primary computer fail. And also make sure you save all your files in more than one place in case that you do have a computer issue. So it's suggested that you use a large flash drive or external hard drive. If you have a computer issue, that is not an excuse for a late work, so please make sure you have a backup plan. If you have a problem with your computer, you can always come to campus and work on campus. A363, C364, 365, 370 all have Office 2010, as well as the Learning Skills Center, the library, and the big computer lab. So you can go ahead and work there. We're going to be putting all our homework in through Blackboard or SimNet, so you must follow the appropriate guidelines to making sure you do that. And I'll have some videos on how to do that after this syllabus video. If the syllabus changes in any way because we've got something happening and we need to make a change, I will note that in an email to all students. So not attending or checking your email can't be used as an excuse for not being aware of syllabus changes. So just make sure you're checking your student emails, so in case there's any changes. Homework is due on the dates stated in the syllabus and on Blackboard. You will have 1 week to turn in late homework. If you turn in late homework, it will be worth half of the assigned points. After 1 week, I will not, and I mean that, stress that I will not accept any late homework. So you have 1 week to turn it in late, and then that's it. This also includes all projects, so I want to make sure you're very clear about that on SimNet, if it's late, I'll give you half credit, and then after 1 week, I will not accept it. Exam, there are no makeup exams, so the lowest exam score will be dropped. If you are absent or you miss that exam, you will get a 0, but I will take that as the lowest exam score. But this does not apply to homework, final exam, or project, so make sure you're aware of that. The final exam, you want to make sure that it's due, if you're in an online class, it's just due by the date above on the syllabus, so you want to make sure that you get it turned in on time. There's no makeup exams for final exam, but you can take it early. Even though it says here you can't take it early, it will be available to you before the final date, so you can take it then. And so, but no late work will be accepted. That's the same thing for your final project. One of the things is that I can withdraw you if you're not working in this course at the midterm. So in other words, what I would suggest is that if I'm looking at your grades and you haven't logged in for 3 weeks, or you've not turned in 50% of your homework, I will shoot you an email and letting you know that you are failing the course currently, and I'm going to administratively withdraw you from the class. I will let you know that about 1 week before the 8-week mark, so that you know that I'm withdrawing you. Let's say you're working perfectly fine up until that point, and then you drop out of the class. It is your responsibility to withdraw from the class after that point. So if I do not withdraw you at the midpoint, it is your responsibility to withdraw from the class after the midsection if you're not doing well. Grading, we will have skills review and lesson applications at the end of each lesson, which is inside the book at the end of the lesson, and those are worth 50 points each. There are also SimNet lessons that are up, and they're very short, but they are worth 10 points each. We have 5 unit projects, and so they're each worth 100 points. We also have 5 unit exams, and those are worth 500 points, and there's 1 cumulative final exam, and that's worth 400 points, and then a final project that's worth 400 points. So in summary, we have 2,700 points total, and we have a 90, 80, 70, 60 scale. Now this grading scale guarantees a particular grade, but students who are close to a decision number, let's say you're at like 2157 or something like that, and you're really close to being 90%, I will consider moving you up to the higher grade if you attended well, you had a good attitude, you showed improvement, and you participated, and also you had timely homework. If you were turning in lots of late homework, then I will not move the grade. Grades aren't mailed out anymore, so you're going to check Kish SOS for your grades there. Let's see, again, I talked about withdrawing, so you want to make sure that you withdraw from the class after the midterm if I haven't done it for you. Class cancellations, we will be online, so you don't have to worry about that. You want to make sure that you're doing your own work. If it's noted that your work looks extremely like someone else's work, I will contact you and usually give zeros for that work all the way up to expulsion from college. So please do your own work for me. If you have a documented disability or special learning need and want to request accommodations, you should contact Ann Wilson in room A317 or at extension 3960. It needs to be documented, and then she will contact me, and I will work with you and Ann to come up with a plan so that anything you need can be accommodated. Please make sure you're using your student email when you communicate with me. You will notice that other courses, online courses, you have email in Blackboard, but I do not. I like to use my student or my Kish email address to communicate with you, and I would expect for you to do the same. So if you email me from your business or your home email address, I have no idea it's you, and I will not answer. I won't even email you to let you know to use your student email address. I won't answer you. So unless it's coming from a student email address, you need to make sure you're using that. Then I know it's you, and then I can communicate with you. It's actually against the FERPA law for me to communicate with a student using anything but their student email address once they're in my class. So make sure you're using that. So here's our tentative schedule. So week 1, you'll notice that we will work on lesson 1. Now the first thing that you'll need to do is go to your assignment area in Blackboard and download the files before you get started, because you actually will have a file that you need to get into to start doing the work. So make sure you watch the next set of videos to make sure you understand how to get started. Also, you're going to log into SimNet and get started on lesson 1 after you read the chapter. And then finally, everything that's due is due by 1/21, which is Monday night. So you want to make sure that you get all your work in by 1/21. If you have any questions at all, please make sure you email me about the homework. So once again, lesson 1. So you're going to download the file and then work on lesson 1. You'll upload that along with the skills review and the lesson applications in Blackboard. And then you'll go over to SimNet and work on lesson 1 there. So those are the 2 things that are due by next Monday. After that, you'll have lesson 2, but I want you to note lesson 3 or week 3. On lesson 3, not only do we have our regular lesson 3 in SimNet, skills review, and the lesson applications like always, but we also have a Unit 1 exam and a project due in SimNet. Now I want to make sure that I'll have a video out there so that you know how to do this, but make sure you leave yourself extra time during week 3, during week 6, during week 9, because all of those weeks have extra unit exams and projects. Please note that the 11th through the 17th is spring break and nothing is due that week. On week 12, there's also a unit exam and project. And then at the end here, you'll notice that a final project is assigned during week 13, but it's not due until 5/6. I'm giving that to you early so that you can get started, because you have a lot due that week. As you come down, you'll notice that on this week, where it's 5/6, you have a unit project, a unit exam, a final exam, and a final project and homework all due by the 6th. That's why I assigned some of these things early. I would say those last 4 weeks you want to be working ahead of schedule, which you totally can do. All of the work and all of the SimNet is available to you now. So you could work far ahead and get finished with this class in a couple of weeks if you wanted. But it's all due on the dates that are set up. So you cannot fall behind, but you can always work ahead. So I would suggest that by the end of this, because you have so much due on this last week, that you work ahead so that you are not trying to get all this mammoth amount of work done by the 6th. All right. If you have any questions over the syllabus, make sure you wait, check out all the videos, and get a good understanding of how to work in the class. And then if you have questions, make sure you shoot me an email or come to the online office hour at 10 o'clock on Monday. Or I'm sorry, at 5 o'clock on Monday. Thank you.